one, even by our father Isaac. Isaac and Rebekah were likewise given an illustration of this principle of divine election. Verse 11. For the children being not born yet, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. Although this verse is in parentheses, it truly is a uh, supreme importance. Some explanation may be offered for God's rejection of Ishmael, but that is not possible in the case of Isaac and Rebekah's children. Those boys were twins. God rejected the line of uh, primogeniture, primo, primogeniture, that is the firstborn, and chose the younger son. In other words, uh, the prime, the one, and genetics, the first one of the genetical line always got first place in inheritance. But if you'll notice, over and over again, uh, Jesus or God favors the second or even the last. In David's case, he was the least. He always is for the underdog, is the way I always looked at it. At that time, Jacob had done no good, and Esau had done no evil. It does not rest upon birth. That was identical. And it does not rest upon their character or their works, because both of them were messes. Paul makes the entire choice rest upon the purpose of God according to election. He further qualifies this statement that it is not of works, not but rest upon God who calls. However, the calling in this verse is not to salvation. Not to salvation. Before you start calling me something I'm not, or J. Vernon McGee either. Verse 12. It has said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. This is a quote from Genesis 25:23, which is given before the two boys were born. The Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. This is a quote from the last book in the Old Testament. See Malachi 1, 2 through 3. Now that makes you question, if God can hate people, can we hate people? Anyway, this statement has not made was not made until the two boys had lived their lives and two nations had come from them, which was about 2,000 years later, and much history had been made. A student once said to Dr. Griffith Thomas that he was having trouble with this passage because he could not understand why God hated Esau. Dr. Thomas answered, I have a problem with this passage too, but mine is different. I do not understand why God loved Jacob. That is a big problem. It is easy to see why God rejected Esau, friend. He was a rascal. He was a godless fellow, filled with pride, and from him came a nation that wanted to live without God and turn their backs on him. I can understand why God rejected Esau, but not why he chose Jacob. Jacob was a rascal too. That's what Jacob means. This is a planter. He tried to pull Esau back in the womb so that he could be the firstborn even before he was born. The Bible tells us that he made his voice according to his sovereign will. his choice according